Hello and welcome to another video. This is continuation from the last video. We were talking about fractions, decimals, and we've done multiplication and division of fractions. Today, what I want to continue with is addition and subtraction of fractions, which was a little time consuming, is why I had left it off in the last class. Okay. Um, like in multiplication and division, the first thing was to change improper fractions, mixed numbers into improper fractions first, and then think about what to do about addition. So this box on the screen says, however, if you want to add or subtract fractions, they should be converted where necessary so that they have a common denominator. Any common multiple of the denominators can be used, but we must remember to simplify by cancelling common factors at the end of the calculation. What that means is, let's first convert that into improper fractions. 9 into 2 is 18, 18 plus 5 is 23. So what I'm basically trying to add is 23 over 9 and 7 over 4. Okay. For two fractions to be added together, the denominator must be common. What that means is that they must have the same denominator. Now, how do you change this into the same denominator? You think about a multiple that is common to both 9 and 4. You could take the lowest common multiple if you wanted, but you can think about any common multiple that you want. In this case, what I can think about is 36. So 36 is the common denominator that I'm thinking about. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that this first fraction that I have, 23 over 9, write that here. 23 over 9. How will I change this denominator to 36? By multiplying this denominator by 4. But as in equivalent fractions, when we multiply the denominator with something, we multiply with the numerator with the same thing as well in order to keep that balance. What that gives us is that the denominator becomes 36 and the numerator becomes 23 into 4. Let's multiply 23 by 4. Let's do it on the side. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8 and 9, so 92. That's 92 over 36. What was the other number that I had? Other number was 7 over 4. How do I change this to 36 in the denominator? I multiply this denominator by 9 so that I get 36. But if I multiply the denominator, then I must do it in the numerator as well. So I get 36 and 7 times 9 is 63. Now remember that the denominators don't get added, they are a common denominator. So you can now add the fraction together. Okay, the numerator together basically. So this gives me 155. Now at the end, what you have to think about is that if I can reduce this answer, looks a little uncertain. 3 times 12. No, I think that should be the final answer. 155 over 36. I can change that to a mixed number if I want to. I can't reduce it by 2. I can't reduce it by 3. We'll talk about rules of divisibility later on uh, in a separate topic. Okay, let's try subtracting this one now. So 8 times 2 is 16. This is the final answer. Let's put a box over. 16 plus 3 is 19. So that's 19 over 8 minus 6 over 5. Again, I think about what could be the common denominator. So what clicks is that if I can make this 8 into 5 into is 40. If I want to make this into 40, I need to multiply both the numerator and denominator by 5 in this case and by 8 in this case. So what do I end up with? I end up with 95 over 40, 48 over 40. Now I can write the common denominator and 95 minus 48. Let's subtract that. You borrow 17 and 47. 47 over. Okay. These are actually past paper questions as well. You see this one. This is the exact same question from the past papers. This is from 4024 paper 1. That means you have to do this without a calculator. So 3 times 3 is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 over 3 minus 14 over 5. What common denominator can you think of when it comes to 3 and 5? The number that clicks is 15. So how do I change this to 15? I multiply this by 5 and this by 5 as well. What do I multiply the other fraction? I multiply this by 3 by 3. So this becomes 55 over 15 minus 42 over 15. That gives me 13 over 15. And I can't reduce that any further, so that's my final answer. Okay, that's part A. Part B says 48 over 84 in its lowest terms. So let's start reducing with 2 first. 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is 8, and 2 times 2 is 4. I can reduce it with 2 again, so 12 and 21. Now I can reduce it with 3. 3 times 4 and 3 times 7. So I get 4 over 7. Yet another past paper question that asks you to add. So you think about what is the common denominator of 4 and 7. You think about you, you think about the number 28. So 4 times 7 and 1 times 7 as well. Okay. So 7 over 28 plus 4 over 28. So I get 11 over 28. Okay. Now, although this looks like a plus sign, this is actually a division sign. It's a bit smudged because it's copy pasted from somewhere. How do you divide? That's easy. First, you change that into improper fractions. Okay. And then you do 15 over 8 multiplied by 16 over 3. The reciprocal, when you change the divide sign into multiply, 8 times 2, 3 times 1, 3 times 5. 5 into 2 gives you 10. Okay. 11 over 16 of 52, 4 over 5. That simply means that off means multiply. You first have to change this into an improper fraction to be able to multiply 5 times 52. Let's calculate that. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 times 5 is 25 and 26. 26 plus 260 plus 4 is 264 over 5. I think I will be able to reduce this. So 2 times 8, 2 times 4, 2 times 6 is 12. 1 remaining. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 2 times 33. Okay. So that's 33 into 11. That's simple, I think. 363 over 10. I will do this in decimals later on, but this becomes 36. Or you can say 36 whole 3 over 10. Okay, sometimes I might ask you in questions to express one fraction as um, another fraction. I think we'll have to do this later on because it involves changing units. I can tell you right now that you will have to change this unit, but this is a topic coming up later on. Okay, let's just quickly do this. If you want to express 24 centimeters as a fraction of 3 meters, that means that I want to do this, but I can't sort of reduce this because one of them is in centimeters, the other is in meters. How do you change meters into centimeters? You multiply by 100. Okay, so 3 times 8, so that becomes 8 over 100. I can reduce this further. 4 over 50, 2 over 25. That's 2 over 25. Then for part 2, it means 27 as a minutes as a fraction of 3 whole 1 over 4 hours. How do you change hours into minutes? You multiply by 60. You first convert this into an improper fraction and then you multiply by 60. I first simplify this. 4 times 1, 4 times 15. That gives me 27 and 13 into 15. Remember that when you don't have a calculator and you see numbers cancelling out, you cancel them out first. Okay, so 3 times 5, 3 times 9, that's 9 over 65. Okay, we'll do this later on as well. We haven't so far seen decimals, so we'll talk about them in a later class, and percentages as well. Let's do this one. Subtraction. So again, you think about what the common denominator might be. 7 and 3 will have a common denominator of 21. So you multiply this by 3 and you multiply that by 3 as well. In order to make this 21, you will have to multiply by 7. This becomes 18 over 21 minus 7 over 20. That gives me 11 over. Multiplication is simple. You just multiply head to head. 8 over 45. No other simplification that I can do. That's the final answer for this one. Okay. I think the next part of the topic is working with decimals. I will see you in another video to teach you working with decimals. Thank you for watching.